Salut les joueurs! Voilà, nous sommes à Trône les Légendes à Mons et nous avons la chance d'être avec un dieu vivant de l'industrie de la fantasy, Sir Ian Livingstone.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Nice to see you and to meet you once again.
Yes, nice to be here.
Thank you for according us a small interview. So, 40 years ago, exactly 40 years ago, almost day by day, was the release of Deathtrap Dungeon. The cover of Ian McCaig, the story, the adventure, the labyrinth became a legend. But we heard that you are preparing some sequel of it.
Yes, well, 40 years is a long time to wait for a sequel, but I think the people deserve to die in new ways, so I've created a new dungeon, and the book's called The Dungeon on Blood Island.
Yeah.
So I've been assembling lots of terrible traps and tricks for the last year or so, and I finally got around to writing it. So the book is coming out in the UK in September. And Gallimard Jeunesse will be publishing it probably next year, I think.
Okay.
But before that, Gallimard Jeunesse are publishing my last book, which is Shadow of the Giant.
Absolutely. In May, I think.
In May, I believe.
In May. It will be a pleasure once again. I read it in English, but I will, of course, reread it in French, of course.
But I'm very excited about the Dungeon on Blood Island because everyone loves, as you know, Deathtrap Dungeon originally. So I've got Ian McCaig to do the cover for the new book.
I heard about it, yes.
And got an artist called Christian Ball who's going to do the internal illustrations. But I've created some very terrible things for people to try and get through.
Will it be a one true path about the system? Will it be very hard?
It will be hard. I always try to lure people to their doom with false promises. I also make them collect lots of rubbish that they don't need. There will be a correct way through, but there will also be other ways where you can fail.
Okay.
So give people lots of choices to go wrong.
Of course. That's another trap amongst the traps.
Yes.
That's good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. About your projects. I mean, we all know that you made a lot of other things than game books, Games Workshop, of course, Eidos, and so on.
Yeah.
Do you have any more projects beside the game books? I mean.
Well, I'm too old to run anything now, so I invest in game studios as well. So help the next generation of games makers be successful, hopefully.
Absolutely.
Leveraging my 50 years of experience, hopefully they don't make the same mistakes. But of course, Fighting Fantasy is a passion project for me. I still love creating dungeons for players who seem to be as enthusiastic as they were in the 80s. My problem is, do I write it for a 10-year-old or a 50-year-old trying to be a 10-year-old? So
yeah, that's a good question because I am more in the 50-year-old side, but I'm still 10 in my head.
Of course.
And anyway, I've got a son and I've got a daughter, and I want to transmit this passion, and so I am trying to make the dungeon myself.
But it's been very interesting because Gallimard have been publishing now for 48 years, and they've never, not 48 years, since 1985, and the books have never gone out of print in France. So
absolutely,
it's extraordinary. So it's great. The French-speaking market's been wonderful.
Yeah, it's very active.
Yeah.
We met Dave Morris in February in Cannes, and he was telling us that the French audience, the French readers, were almost more enthusiastic than the English ones because he's like full of energy, and they never stopped to publish the game books in France. And of course, sometimes in England there was not a whole, but
between 1995 and 2000, Fighting Fantasy was not in print in the UK.
Absolutely.
And then Wizard Books picked them up, and now Scholastic have picked them up. So, but there's been a revival recently, which is great.
Absolutely, and in France too, in the French-speaking part of the world too. Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Oh, good.
My cup of tea has arrived. Thank you very much.
Tea time.
Tea times. Well, it's England. London, you know, you're going to have a cup of tea.
Absolutely. Welcome in my country.
All I need now is tea.
Thank you, Mr. Livingstone.
Thank you very much.
We will leave you. Enjoy your tea. Thank you once again.
Good luck on your adventure.
Let us dream with you, please, once again. Thank you.
I hope you die many times in my new book.
Absolutely, I will die a lot of times, as usual. Thank you. Thank you so much.